Hi, and welcome to Manifesting with Ari Mack. I'm your host, spiritual coach Ari Mack, and this episode is titled The Universe is Redirecting You. Now, I want to start off by saying, as a spiritual life coach with the emphasis on astrology, I don't predict the future, I help you plan it. And I use my techniques with astrology, affirmations, and aromatherapy. Right now, in astrology, we have a thing called a Mercury Retrograde. Now, that means the planet of communications is moving away from the Earth's environment. Now, normally this planet is ruled by Virgo and Gemini. These are two planets that it's always ruled. But it can go into other planets. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Mercury being in Cancer, going backwards. Now, at the same time, we have this significant change happening. We also have Jupiter, the planet of justice, law, expansion, and really just being like the goodie of all of the astrology. Jupiter brings luck, and it wherever it touches, usually you have a good time. Well, Jupiter is normally ruled by Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is a fire sign. Okay, Mercury is usually ruled by air and earth, and it's in a water sign of Cancer, just FYI. So what's going on with Jupiter being in Leo, which is going to be going on for one full year? It's a very unique opportunity because we don't have a retrograde and Jupiter move. Usually it's like, doesn't happen that often. It's like one of those rare things. And what makes it so beautiful is that I think it's really directing us as human beings to the next level of our emotional and spiritual evolution. See, we're also in Cancer, the sun sign of Cancer. So happy birthday to all of my Cancers. You guys are the backbones of the astrology. You give and give and give. And the United States is actually ruled by Cancer. So for the last year, we've been having quite a bit of, I won't say the best of times, but that's necessarily where we're all broke. Okay. Jupiter's now leaving Cancer and it's in Leo, which means now we have to deal with our pride, our ego, our expansion of whatever it is we've been trying to do. And this makes for a very unique energy. Now, if you're curious about how the planets affect you, grab my free astrology report. It's available at candlesbyari.com, and it gives you a full, comprehensive spiritual insight of what's happening with all the planets for the month of July. And you can get that for absolutely free at candlesbyari.com. So get that today. It just came out. Okay? So in that particular report, I talk about how you have to reset, realign, and you have to rise up. You have to rise up because Mercury in Cancer is making us look at our emotional securities, our family, childhood trauma, all the things that you may not have had an opportunity to deal with. Mercury is giving you that chance right now to go back, especially in a female energy, to figure out what happened and maybe even find some peace. Now, Jupiter, being more masculine, is going to be like the taskmaster. In the sense, it's going to push you and give you the courage to stand in that light. Okay? Now, wherever you have Leo, it's going to be accentuated to the 100th degree. Okay? And I personally think it's going to give a lot more courage to give you that strength to go out into the world and make your presence known. Not in a negative way, but just showing your talents. And if you happen to be a sun sign Leo, just FYI, this is your time. This is the time that Leo can stand on that stage, put that proposal together, step into a new career, whatever you want, Leo. It gives you that extra energy. And if you happen to have Leo in your sun, Mercury, I think it's moon and rising, you're going to feel this energy. Okay? Not restless, but wanting to do something. You're going to want to initiate. You're going to have this like, hey, come on. Because that's what Leo gives us. It gives us extra fire and energy because it's a fixed sign. Now, for you, okay, to stay in alignment, and I'm doing this across the board for every single zodiac sign. Now, in my report, I break it down for each sign. So you get a sign, you get your information, you can get an affirmation. Okay, it's beautiful. But you have to take those notes if you want to expand yourself. Okay, now one of the things I'm going to ask you to do with this realignment, because you're being redirected, is to protect your mental well being. I can't emphasize enough how important it's going to be to take care of your mental well being because you're going to be challenged. You are. Our legal system is going to be going through a huge override because we have more information available. Therefore, more people can show up, more people can participate. That brings about change. If you are ready for that change, if you are really putting that energy behind it, this is your time. I'm saying especially to the Leos, but all the fire signs are going to get that extra kick. So Aries, Sagittarius, you're also going to be benefited from this because it's going to give you that extra energy to go forth and make extra money, to go forth and find the love of your life, to have the courage to start a new business. Whatever it is that you've been working on and you've been dreaming about, this is the opportunity that you've been looking for because Spirit is redirecting you. And that's what the retro brings. Now, if I'm making sense to you guys, please give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up and let me know, even in the rebroadcast, what city and state that you're listening to me from. Because I'm always curious. This is international and I'm having a good time. Now, when you have to reflect, this is when you have to go over what have you learned? What have you done differently? What have you seen progress in your life? Now, this is a very personal thing because you have to be honest with yourself. Now, if you're lucky, you have close friends, family members that have watched you grow, so they can give you extra insight and maybe extra love as to the things that you've done well that you may not consider. For example, I have a client who's always worried about money. Always, 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 always. But somehow, you guys, money always comes to her. Money always pops up, bills are paid, things get taken care of. And so we have to seriously sit there and go over, have you ever been without? Have you ever wanted something and you did not receive it? And you know what? She had to admit that every single one of her blessings has happened, but it's through her determination, her perseverance, and taking care of her mental well-being. So I need you to reflect on what have you learned and what can you apply for your mental well-being to continue to grow. It's a deep question. You can think about it. You don't have to answer immediately. But the universe is redirecting you. And like my friend, when she finally sat down and really thought about it, she's always attracted money. She's always somehow been blessed with the solution. So why would the universe cut her off now? But you got to reflect on that. Okay? Now, during the retrograde, I do recommend a lot of re. Okay? Anything with the R-E in it, you need to pay attention. Now, the next thing I talk about is realigning. Now, that is claiming that softness in yourself. That's treating yourself like a really good friend. That's like taking time out and going to the spa, slowing down and taking that extra cappuccino, treating yourself with dignity, the way you would treat a really good friend if they were going through stuff. Now think about that, because you have to reclaim yourself in order to free yourself. And with Mercury being in Cancer, it's given us a chance to deal with that emotional security that we all crave. We all want to belong. We all want to feel like we have enough. We all want to feel secure. Well, Mercury being in Cancer right now is asking you to review what it is that you really want so that you can realign yourself with your belief system. Here's an example. You want to lose weight. Let's just say you've decided you're going to lose weight. You're putting time in on putting weight in, losing the weight. But somehow you're not losing the weight. And you're going to the gym, you're drinking your water, eating right, all the things that you're supposed to be doing. But guess what? when you really stop and start being accountable, you're not drinking enough water. You're not eating the proper calories. And even though you're exercising, it's not necessarily with the intent or understanding of how to be progressive. Okay? So that's the number one thing that you have to consider, okay, for the realignment is what have I done? What am I doing? And am I being honest with myself? Okay? Now, the beautiful thing, and I think that when you go, into the training, into the gym, they do require you to keep a record of what you're doing. And that's what I'm going to ask you to do. Now, a lot of what I'm saying is in my free report. So you can grab the report. It also includes affirmations for each and every single zodiac sign. Okay. And some aromatherapy suggestions as well. And you can grab that at candlesbyari.com, especially if you're curious about what's going on in your particular sign. Now, once you go ahead and get your realignment going, that means you realize that if, for example, with the weight loss, I have to start watching my calories, I have to start exercising more, and more importantly, I have to drink my water. Now, I drink about 3 or 4 of these a day, and this is about 16 to 18 ounces, maybe. I think it's 32. Honestly, I've had it so long now, I don't remember. But the bottom line is, I know that if I drink 3 or 4 of these a day, I've hit my intake and I'm good. And you know how I know it's working? Because I can see it in my skin, in my hair, in my body. And that's the thing about when you align yourself. You start seeing where you could do better. You start seeing where that depression and that doubt, you're wasting your time there. Yeah, you're wasting your time because that's always going to be there. You can always find something to be depressed about. You can always find something that is holding you down. It takes a lot of courage, which is why Jupiter is sitting in Leo right now, to stand and say, you know what? I don't think I like the way you're treating me. And you know what? I don't think that I am really digging the way that this is going, be it a relationship, a job, a career, whatever the case. You still have to own, are you going to allow them, or are you going to stand up for yourself and say, that's not going to work for me? I had a client this week have to turn down a big ass check because it didn't align with her. They offered her a deal, but guess what, guys? When she went inside herself and she really looked to be aligned with her beliefs and what she was doing, that money did not add up. Even though for the average person, over $1 million is like, oh my goodness, it's changing, life-changing money, because it is. But at the same time, she knows what she has to do, and this case is worth far more. I got news for you. She gonna get a hell of a lot more money than that, okay? Because the people she's dealing with are now offering more money. And that's where you have to use your patience and your wisdom. When you're doing the reflections and lining up, and people that used to treat you like poop are now coming and trying to be your friend and trying to align yourself, that's how you know you're doing something right. That's how you know you're rising. Now, I talk about this in the free report. You can grab it. It's a free astrology report for July. It's all the things I'm speaking of today about the realignment that's happening and the redirection that's happening now. Now, we have to rise up. And that's the other thing, okay? When you get into yourself, when you pay attention to what the universe is saying, there are no coincidences. See, that's the thing. When you really start owning, hey, Stacy, how you doing? They love Dennis. Hey, now, thanks for joining, guys. Don't forget to follow, like, and share, okay? But when you get into your alignment and you start rising up, you don't see the people and situations the same way. You won't be duped, even though peer pressure, and you guys know what that's like. Everybody else is doing it, so I don't want to be the odd man. I want to be with the group. I want everybody to like me. That's not going to work this time. It's not. Hey, Slovak from Europe. Hey, now. Thanks for joining. Appreciate. Don't forget to like and follow, okay? Spiritual coach Ari Mack. I don't predict the future. I help you plan it with astrology, affirmations, and aromatherapy. Now, the thing is, guys, the things I'm going to ask you to do in this next 3 weeks, because this retrograde is going to be going on till July 23rd. I need you to protect your well-being. That means treat yourself like a really good friend. Hi, Igor. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I need you to take care of your physical well-being, guys. All right? Because I see people like running into things and don't even realize it. Don't follow everyone else. They might be wrong. Don't follow everyone. They might be wrong. I totally understand, Stace. It's all good. Check out my website, candlesbyari.com, and you can look at my history and judge for yourself. Okay? The report's free, though, so you don't have to do anything but grab it, look at it, throw it away. It's up to you. Okay, Stace? And lastly, and this is a big one, I need you to listen to your spirit. One of the reasons my client today could turn down that money, which is over $1 million, is because when she started listening to her spirit and her heart and everything that she's been through, she knew that that money was not the point, because they still didn't offer what she asked for, which was something really simple. It wasn't even complex. But because she knows that these people are lying, they're trying to redirect her. And you know what's funny, guys? This is just, it's not ha-ha funny, but interesting funny, is her lawyer, her neighborhood, her acquaintances, not her inner circle, the people in the outer circle, have talked about, oh, it's just going to cost so much money. Are you sure you want to pay so much money, to discourage her from standing up for herself? And here's the deal. When she started this case, these people wouldn't even acknowledge that she existed. They wouldn't give her the time of day, nothing. And this is dealing with family stuff. So now that it's getting closer to the actual date of going to trial and putting everything out in public, these people don't want that. And they shouldn't want it, because they done some dirt. And not just to my client, but to other people in their communities. And that's why we have to be so due diligent about talking, about reflecting, about realigning ourselves with our spiritual belief system. Because if you are aligning yourself and you are really listening to your heart, you shouldn't have any problems, because you are listening to what is right for you, just for you. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel. You're not trying to make someone become something they're not. You're just asking to be heard and respected. And if you can't receive that, then you need to take note, because that's still telling you something. May not be telling you something you want to hear, but nevertheless, it is telling you something. Now, when you start aligning yourself up and stop playing games and use your affirmations, use what you're affirming to. Now, for me, every day is a blessing. I give thanks that I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise, my family's taken care of, and that I meet the most beautiful people. So even when I come across, let's just say, a knucklehead, I pretty much just leave them be, because my grandma taught me a long time ago, Ari, you can't argue with the jackass, because a jackass will never let you win, ever. It doesn't matter how much information, it doesn't matter the evidence, it doesn't matter if you can show why this is a good thing for whatever reasons. When you're dealing with someone who's already decided that this is the route they're going to go, there's nothing you can do. Guys, you can protect yourself by aligning yourself as best you can with your belief system and let them know, hey, I can only go so far, and then you're on your own. But that's stuff that we have to do for our own mental and spiritual well-being. See, the universe already has a plan for us. All right. But us to walk in that plan, for us to be a part of that plan, we have to align ourselves with that plan. Does that make sense? All right. Because you can't keep praying, let's just say, for the weight loss, but you keep going to McDonald's every day and eating whatever the hell you want. It doesn't work that way. You have to spend time. You have to use your affirmations. You have to stop and think about, is this a wise choice? Or am I doing the same things that I'm sabotagely, is that a real word? Sabotagely? I'm going to look that up later. But do I want to continue to sabotage myself? Do I want to continue to struggle? Because at some point, guys, the struggle's going to end. Now, you want it to end in your favor, right? You want the blessings to come in your direction, right? Okay, then. In this next 3 weeks, okay, As Mercury is doing this thing going backwards, and I'm telling you, I already see it. I had some issues getting online today. I got some computer stuff that's acting kind of weird. I'm rolling with it. Mostly my schedule's going up and down, right and left, and all around, which is totally cool. Okay, because I already know. But as this progresses, it's going to get a little bit more intense and a little bit more intense. Please give yourself time. Please understand that everyone is going through this. No one is trying to hurt you. Now, some people may say some really, really inappropriate things. That's people. We can't do anything about that. What you can do, however, is you can ask them, what are you saying? Why are you saying that to me? So you can have the door open that I don't understand. So if you're trying to be mean or you're angry with me, please be more direct. You'd be very surprised how that throws people off when you actually ask them, what do you mean? What are you trying to say to me? You know what I mean? And that's what gets people going, ooh, what am I trying to say? Ooh, what am I trying to do? See, you're not behind on anything. The universe is getting you prepared. Does that make sense? Okay, the universe isn't sending you negative energy and making you go in the opposite direction. That's not what spirit does. Spirit is benevolent and loving. Our lessons come because we want to do things our way. We don't want to follow a protocol. We don't want to be stuck in a certain. And I know, guys, because just like I'm talking to you guys, I still walk in this world. I put my pants on one leg at a time. I'm growing this business online. I thank you guys for all your support. My book is getting ready to come out. You know, there's a lot of energy that has to be got, but I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I'm all about it. I am in it to win it. Why? Because I've seen what happens when a person hits their goals. I've seen, listen, as an astrology manifesting expert, I have watched when people listen to the energy, listen to my suggestions of the energy that's going on around them, and they make a better choice for themselves. For themselves. Even if maybe it doesn't, benefit everyone. That's okay. It's okay. Unless you're coming from a place of being vindictive and nasty and just wanting to hurt folks, the universe is not going to say anything to you because this is how they prepare you. They're not delaying you. Look, anything that's worth having is going to take some time. Okay, I can tell you right now, instant does not work. It doesn't. People want it to work. It potentially can. I'm not going to say it won't. I'm going to take that back because I've seen people that got together and got married within 6 months and they're still married today. It's beautiful, but I have to say they work at it. They work at it. They put time, they put energy, they went to counseling, but they didn't give up on the commitment that they made, even when it got a little hairy. And that's the same thing you have to do with this redirection that the universe is providing for you. They're not putting you down. They're trying to get you to see things in a different way. Jupiter in Leo gives you the courage to take that step toward your ultimate goal. But you got to use it. You got to participate in it. You have to put some skin in the game. There's just no way around it. And if you have fears, and fear is false evidence appearing real, that's what fear is. Okay? You give it power because you don't investigate, because it creates anxiety when you think about it, and you get fearful when you have to deal with it. I truly understand. But that is where your affirmations, your prayers, your meditation comes in to reinforce that if it's something that doesn't leave you guys, if this desire still haunts you and is coming towards you, then you know it's divine design. Hi, Malcolm. How you doing? My favorite food? I'm going to go Mexican. I love Mexican. I grew up in Texas. Tostados, enchiladas, fajitas. I love it. And I grew up with seafood. So seafood, Mexican seafood is my favorite, Malcolm. What's yours? Okay. So, and it's funny you ask me that because the cancer also rules the tummy. So we like to eat. We love food. I'm personally a closeted chef. I do a lot here at the home from my family, but I love looking at the Cooking Network and just I enjoy the whole process of making food and treating people well. And that's another thing you can do during this retrograde. Discover some new foods. Check out some new restaurants. There's nothing wrong with you going in and ordering a la carte. I'm asking you to step outside of your regular schedule to see what else is going on in your neighborhood. Take a walk down a street that you haven't been down before. Look, there's discovery happening all the time, but you have to listen and you have to follow and you have to align yourself with what it is that you're trying to make happen. Have fun, yes. And more than anything else, this retrograde is going to slow you down. It's going to slow you down. Now, you guys that's been with me, my students, my clients that's been with me for many, many moons, you already know that when the retrograde tells you not to do something and you start running into resistance, what the golden rule is shut up. Shut the F up is what I tell everybody. Because once the universe starts putting those rules and restrictions, they're trying to protect you. I know we don't believe that because we want what we want. We get all pissy, but there's circumstances that we can't comprehend. Right? There's situations, there's no way we could calculate until we're in it. And if you're doing your prayers, you're doing your affirmations, you're following what's going on in your chart, in your astrology, and you really are sincere about what you want in life, then the universe will bring it to you. But you have to still manage it. And that's where people get frustrated. Okay? Rejection is God's protection. Yep. It's absolutely, you can't say better words, Pixie Mama 06, because it's true. Whenever spirit has blocked me or prevented me from doing something, within a year or two, I found out why. And it's usually from my blessing and my benefit. But we don't know that when it's happening. Okay? That's why you have to follow your intuition. Because something inside your heart, when you're not bitching and complaining and losing your mind, knows what's right. You know when something is not going in the right direction. You know when you're pushing the envelope. And you know when your ass is tired and you need to quit. But here's my question to you. Do you take that note? Do you allow the universe to redirect you, or do you still, with your stubborn ass, keep doing what you want to do? I asked you. Exactly. Trust in God, in the universe, in spirit, whatever you call it. You have to have faith in it. And now more than ever, you need to have faith in what you believe in. Okay? Because you're going to need that courage. Now, I'm not trying to talk gloom and doom, but there are changes happening in this world that are happening rapidly. And you need to pay attention for your own spiritual and financial well-being. Because with change, there's also possibilities for a massive financial blessings. Okay? So even though something looks like it's a negative, you may actually surprise yourself and make it a positive because you can't see the blessing behind what we call the task. You know, you show up and suit up. That's what we like professionals. No matter what, they show up, they keep it together, they seem clean and caffeine, but you know what? They paid the price behind the scenes. Because to make that stuff look that clean, they work. Big changes, fast ones too. Just got a grant from a nonprofit. There you go. There you go. But guess what? You put the work in on that. That didn't come to you. You didn't wake up in the morning and say, hey, nonprofit, give me money. That's not what happened. You took the time. You found out what they wanted. You wrote the work and you submitted it. That's what I'm talking about, guys. And this free astrology report, now this is my gift to you, gives you insight so that you can trust and understand who I am and where I'm coming from, because I'm surgical with this. Surgical. Hey, Johnny, how you doing? But like all things, you have to put the time in. You have to do the patience. And more importantly, you have to believe. You have to believe, guys. This world can be very cold. It can be mean. It can be vicious. There's people in this world that are just messed up. I'm sorry, but they're just messed up. And you didn't mess them up. But circumstances, situations, hey, they've lost their faith. They're jaded. They may be under the influence of something. But you can't allow that to drag you down. And I think as humans, we want to do good. We want everybody around us to do well. But sometimes they can't. Oh, yeah, the Love the Gap program is very accurate. Thank you, darling. Speaking of the gap. Now, not everybody can do one-on-one sessions with me. I get that. I understand it. And I created a program so that you can have a one-on-one like session, if you want to call it. And I call it the GAP. It's the Guided Astrology Program. And literally, It gives you a weekly synopsis of what's going to be going on for your sign and other signs and what's happening. I'm even including affirmations in that program now because I really feel like, um, even though I have candles with affirmations and I've said affirmations 1,000 times in the past, I think it's very important to have a specific affirmation on a weekly basis for each sign. So that's what I've added to the program this week. And the program's just going to get richer and richer because the more I think about it, the more good stuff's going to come up. So, but in the GAP program, the Guide Astrology program, it's a Zoom link that you receive each weekly. You also get access to classes that are ongoing, from meditation class. We're going to have a astrology 101 class this month, and informational things to keep your head going. Not to mention, you get a chance to know that you're not crazy. I know that sounds like a basic one, but a lot of times we do doubt ourselves to the point we think we're nuts. I like to pair it with the meditation class, of course, the candles and the affirmations. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this program is built on the flow of energy that's around you. For example, some people need more of the visual. So we do have some visual stuff, but some people need more of the mental. Now, with the mindful guided meditation, it's something I've been doing for 15, 20 years. It's like a massage. It's like going to a chiropractor, but for your mind. Because even I, when I'm under, can see my ancestors, can see my grandmother, and that gives me faith and hope that we are connected. Okay, that we are picking up on the energy that we need so we can understand how to move forward. I know that sounds really simple, but it's very effective because when you have the power of calmness, like true calmness, not no anxiety where you're losing your mind, but true calmness where you can walk in the room and assess the room before you speak, which is going to be important, guys. That's going to be really, really important because as we get into this, it's going to get thicker. And as this retro weighs on people, they're going to start showing their assets and you can't do nothing about it. So please try to make sure you're thinking and staying in tune with yourself, because the other side of Jupiter and Leo and all this other fire coming down is that we have more courage. So we're going to use it. And we're going to let you know how we feel and do. So pick and choose your battles. But if they order candles, they can have aromatherapy affirmations. They can write them while they're burning the candles. Yeah, they can. Will you? Can you burn candles and stay low? I know why you're asking that question. Okay, the thing about the candles, they do have affirmations on the candle, and it is aromatherapy that I have cultivated over the years with my clients. So these candles are the bomb. They're more spiritual candles, so they're not a commercial thing, and they're only made as needed. So they got that extra human touch on them. So if you decide to check out my candle company, candlesbari.com, the candle of this month is the blue, colonial blue, because I think we all need to be grounded and centered. And it's got sandalwood in it, which is just sexy and calming. And if you do decide to join the GAP program, let me go back on that. Intro price is $9.99. Okay. After that is $29.99 a month for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks every week. You can actually have information that speeds your spiritual and mental well-being to keep you whole and balanced. And guys, to me, that's priceless. That's priceless. If you're not being spiritually fed, if you're not emotionally releasing, if you're not connecting, then you know there's something you need to do different. This retrograde, especially being in Cancer, which is the water sign, is going to help you reflect on that and give you the courage to jump in that. Okay? So you got to protect your well-being. That's your goal right now. Okay? You got to take extremely great-ass care for your physical well-being. Okay? And you get the gap once a week. Yeah, you get it once a week. And you got to listen to your spirit. I can't emphasize the importance of slowing down. And if you can't do that, have somebody help you do that. Because you need that moment. It's only like 5 or 10 minutes to center yourself so you can make some outstanding choices. Okay? Now, reflect, realign, and rise. These are the 3 things that are going to be very pivotal in this next 3 weeks. Now, inside of the free report, the free astrology report, I break all this down. I give you insight that you can keep, you can read, you can dance with it, but it can also help you keep your mentals Imbalance. Because once you start showing your ass, and once you say all those things out loud, it is hard to take those back. And it's even harder for you to find forgiveness if it's ugly. When you're being really ugly, people remember. And now with all these gosh darn recorders, they may record you from some angle and repeat it to you later. I like to think that the revolution is being recorded because I really do feel like now record and just look at yourself. You know, just sit back and think about what affirmations am I saying to myself? Am I really being protected? Is spirit punishing me or am I being delayed for divine purpose? See, I know there's a divine guidance going on here. I know there's a divine purpose. I know it is. I can see it. But you got to believe in it. Like I can see the blessings. I can even help you attain the blessings. But you got to actually get with the blessings. Doza 1866. Hi, how are you? I hope, forgive me if I mangle your name. It is so not on purpose. Okay. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Because this is a weekly program that I put together, and I am going to be doing more long form. I have some things I want to share more about affirmations and aromatherapy, along with the astrology that could help us find our peace. Because I really think we need that peace. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Because I'm trying to think and read, and I'm only human. I'm only human. So I am, frail, and I can make mistakes like anyone else. The difference is I learn from my mistakes. And that's the important part. The universe gave us free will. Use it, guys. Use it to improve your life. Take this next 3 weeks to take the messages and the hints and let that use you to realign yourself. Like she said, the 3 R's: review, reevaluate, realign, and release. Good job, Pixie Mama 06. She's one of my students. She's actually one of my success stories. She's pretty awesome. And she's worked her tushy off. And now she's reaping a lot of the blessings in all areas of her life. Love and money. That's a pretty big one. Okay? So let's make a deal. How about we check in once a week, 2 o'clock, around this same time on Thursday, see what's going on. In the meantime, I will put up some daily shorts and a couple of long stories. Probably I'm going to be doing 2 or 3 a day because I feel like it's the best way to convey my message and also get all your information across. I would like us to end this year because technically, guys, we're in the middle of 2026. We literally smack dab in the middle. So for my students that's been with me, I'm going to ask you to review your goals and your aspirations, and we'll go over it later in one of the classes of where you are and what you want to do. And do you feel comfortable? Because, sometimes, guys, when we review, we realize that goal wasn't enough and we want more, or we come up with something completely different. That's the beautiful part. You can change at will. You can grow. There's nothing limiting you. The universe gives you a blank credit card, and you got to figure out how to utilize it. How about that? It's like a better than a Black American Express. It's a GOD card, okay? And it's got GPS, God Protective Services, and it's got an unlimited amount of credit, and the emotional support is awesome, and they have a heavenly retirement program. Heavenly retirement program, okay? Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to end up in hell. I don't want to be hell on earth, and I sure don't want to be hell when I'm done with this. So let's make an agreement. Let's check in once a week. You guys can watch my dailies. Please leave me positive notes, and share. Grab your free report. It's available now for July. And just know that you're blessed. Whenever you doubt it, take a listen to something positive. Go talk to somebody that loves you. Get out of your head. And don't fall into I can't. Because you can. All you have to do is just try. And if you need help, guys, please talk to a family member, talk to a clergy, talk to your best friend. They may know something's going on, but they need you to communicate with them, okay? Because they want to respect you, but you got to share. And just remember, no matter what, that you are blessed. All right. So like me, follow me. I'm on all the social medias, TikTok, YouTube. I'm here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. All right. And just, guys, Just remember you're blessed. And don't question spirit. If you're listening to me now, then you're ready for some major positive shifts. Let's do it. I swear I help, but you got to download the free report and you got to subscribe so we can connect. And just remember, you are blessed. I see you guys next week. Bye.